All right, today we are exploring what might just be the future of European defense. We're talking about Leonardo's Michelangelo Dome, which is a truly revolutionary concept for an all-domain shield. And, that might sound like an exaggeration, but it's really not. We're talking about a security architecture built from the ground up to handle a level of speed and complexity in warfare that we've honestly never seen before. Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Hey, if you want to stay ahead of the curve on all things global security, you are definitely in the right place. So go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's get right into it. Why is a system like this even necessary? Well, the short answer is that the modern battlefield has changed a lot. And frankly, our traditional defenses just can't keep up anymore.
I mean, just look at the threats we're facing today. It's a completely different world. We're not just dealing with faster missiles. We're talking about hypersonic weapons that give you practically zero reaction time. We're talking about massive swarms of cheap drones that are designed to just overwhelm and saturate defenses. You've even got unmanned underwater vehicles coming into play. And then on top of all of that, you have cyber and electronic attacks trying to blind the very systems that are supposed to be protecting you. You can see how older single-sensor platforms, well, they just don't stand a chance.
And that's exactly where the Michelangelo Dome comes in. This is the big idea from the Italian defense giant Leonardo, and it's their answer to this incredibly complex, multi-layered problem. Okay, so here's the most important thing to get your head around. The Michelangelo Dome isn't, a new missile or some fancy new radar. It's an architecture. The best way to think about it is like a central nervous system. It's the brain that connects all the different sensors and weapons, the eyes, the ears, the fists, into one single intelligent defensive envelope. And this envelope can protect anything from a single city all the way up to an entire strategic region. And this quote from Leonardo's CEO really nails the why behind it all. Think about it. It's way cheaper to attack with a swarm of drones than it is to defend against them. It's a tough equation. So how do you flip that? Well, the defense has to get smarter, faster, and way more integrated. It has to anticipate threats, not just react to them. So that's the big idea. But how does it actually work, right? How do you create a shield that can literally see and act everywhere, all at once? Well, it starts by integrating everything across all 5 domains of modern warfare. We're talking land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. It pulls in data from absolutely everywhere. Ground radars, ships at sea, jets in the air, satellites in orbit, and even cyber defense networks. And the magic is, it fuses all of that information into one single unified picture of what's going on. The actual operational flow is pretty straightforward, but it's incredibly powerful. It's basically a 3-step loop. First up, you have detect. All those sensors everywhere are constantly gathering data on potential threats. Next, analyze. This is where the AI brain kicks in. It sifts through all that data, figures out what's a real threat versus what's just noise, and it can even predict what that threat is likely to do next. And finally, neutralize. The system automatically picks the best tool for the job, and I mean the best tool, whether that's a missile, an electronic jammer, or a cyber counterattack, and coordinates the response. And the key thing here? All of this happens at machine speed. This is so much more than just a cool piece of tech. It really represents a fundamental shift in defense strategy, a whole new philosophy for Europe. Just think about the old way of doing things, right? You had all these different countries with their own fragmented systems that often couldn't even talk to each other. That model is just too slow, and it gets overwhelmed so easily. The new way, the philosophy behind the dome, is completely different. It's all about one integrated, interoperable shield. It uses AI to respond when every second counts, and it's built from the ground up to be resilient against those mass saturation attacks that would cripple the old systems. And the bigger picture here, the strategic goals, they go way beyond just shooting down missiles. This is really about building European strategic autonomy, making the continent less dependent on others for its own defense. It's also designed to work seamlessly with NATO allies, which is crucial. It encourages European industries to work together, and it aims to build a defense network that is tough against cyber and electronic warfare. So, in short, what you're looking at is a blueprint for a more self-sufficient and technologically resilient Europe. Okay, so pulling back a bit, what does a system like this really signal for the future? Where is all of this heading? Look, the Michelangelo Dome is definitely setting a new standard. But it also brings up a really critical question for all of us to think about. We're entering an era of AI-driven warfare, where both attack and defense are happening at machine speed. So as the attackers also start using AI, Can a defensive shield like this, no matter how advanced it is, really truly stay one step ahead in this crazy technological arms race? It's a tough one.
All right, that's our look at the Michelangelo Dome. Thanks so much for joining us. To keep up with these kinds of critical developments, you know what to do. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. We really want to hear what you think, so drop your thoughts on all this in the comments below. And hey, come join our community on social media. All the links for that are right there in the description. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.